Good afternoon, Ms. Low, Professor Shi, and Professor Chen, and our distinguished guests. Welcome to the opening ceremony of the exhibition, From the Counseling Lotus to the Red Plum, The Legend of Tang-Ti-Sang's Creative Career. I am Jin Menghe from the School of Engineering, and I am your MC today. As you know, this is a special exhibition to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the death of Master Tang-Ti-Sang, the greatest and most influential playwright in the history of Cantonese opera. The exhibition is based on the book The Legend of Tang-Ti-Sang's Creative Career by Professor Chen Xiaoyan and displays Tang-Ti-Sang's original drawings, manuscripts, calligraphies, etc. We will also show videos featuring Tang-Ti-Sang's opera productions. The exhibition is part of HKUST's Cantonese Opera Education Enrichment Project, jointly organized by the Library, Center for the Arts, and Division of Humanities. Before we start the ceremony, I'd like to introduce to you our officiating guests. Ms. Fion Saolai Lo, Museum Director, Hong Kong Heritage Museum. Professor Wei Shi, President, HKUST. Professor Chen Xiaoyan, Visiting Professor, Division of Humanities. Professor Christian Daniels, Head of Division of Humanities. Professor Liu Ti-Sun, Associate Professor of Humanities. Dr. Anna Kwon, Director, Center for the Arts. Ms. Diana Chen, Director of Library Services. Mr. Thomas Ng, Director, Media Technology and Publishing Center. Without further ado, may I now invite Professor Wei Shi, President of HKUST, to give the welcome address. Professor Shi, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to this very special ceremony. I have to say I certainly was not and am not knowledgeable about Yueqi, but I did a little bit of homework, and I was amazed how many, I think, operas Mr. Tang wrote. I thought some of my colleagues are very prolific, writing so many papers and articles and journals. Wow. He wrote 440 over 20 years. I think that's probably more than a single author, no co-authorship. It's very different. So on that, the creativity and also with all the many of the painting, many other things, I would say we are really in for a treat. Our library, as we all know, is a very special place. Not only we have very good collection, extremely competent and professional staff colleagues, this not a very big exhibition area is really in many ways give us our heart and soul, I would say, especially for a university like ours, which is called Science and Technology. And we are here for humanity reasons. Okay, that's why we build a university, no matter what. And sometimes we're busy. Today is one of the days, and I very much appreciate seeing some of the colleagues and students. After joining the human chain this noontime, you still take time to come here. Okay, so I wonder how many hours you have in office today. But I think this is something we certainly appreciate and admire. I, for one, certainly would like to see that we'll have many of these kind of occasions for us to join hands to really appreciate our history and our past. I'd like to thank the Heritage Museum, Ms. Fian Lo, okay, director of the museum, for being so generous to loan so many fantastic original pieces for us to be able to enjoy, okay? And many of my colleagues have spent time preparing, working on this. And my former colleague, Polly, even came back all the way after seeing the announcement. So I think we just really have this family atmosphere, okay, so we can get together. And I noticed that Professor Di-Sen Liao also shared the same first name with the person who is being honored. Okay, so it is also a very special occasion and coincidence. And thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to sharing some quality time soon. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shi. Now, I'd like to invite Professor Chan to give his remarks. Professor Chan, please.
Professor Xu Wei, Fion, Anna and Alice. Yes, I'm very much honored to be invited here to this wonderful exhibition. And today we are here to attend this ceremony, the opening ceremony, to honor唐滌生, this very special talent of Hong Kong people, of Hong Kong culture, who has, as Professor Xi just said, who has created more than 440 operas within slightly more than 20 years of his career. And not just the number, among these works, there are so many masterpieces, like 帝女花紫釵記, the Flower Princess, which translates as, or the Purple Hairpin. These have become the masterpieces of Cantonese opera in Hong Kong or worldwide. Everywhere Hong Kong people go, they bring along Flower Princess and Purple Hairpin. So in this way, Cantonese opera is not just a local culture of Hong Kong people. It has become an international phenomenon. Especially,唐滌生is playing a very special role, even 60 years after his sudden death in the year of 1959. I wish to thank Anna and Alice. Where is Alice? Oh, yes, who put together all this wonderful exhibition. And apart from this exhibition, and also under Anna's support, I'm also teaching a course in this semester. It's called Cantonese Opera and Hong Kong Culture. And I'm happy to have, well, some 50 students who are very attentive, and I like them very much. So I hope, and also I must announce that on the 17th of November, we're going to have a performance. 21st of November, yes, we'll have 21st of November, we will have a performance of Flower Princess, a very condensed version, and with some professional artists leading some students of UST. So I hope all of you will come to this event. And at last, may I say a few words in Cantonese? 好多謝各位，我覺得好榮幸咧，今日嚟到呢度出席紀念唐滌生逝世60週年嘅展覽。咁我自己係一個粵劇研究者，尤其是對唐滌生嘅研究係做咗啲工作嘅。咁唐滌生佢短短嘅一生21年嘅創作生涯，寫咗440個以上嘅粵劇。咁我相信佢係中國戲曲史最多產嘅劇作家，亦都好可能係世界戲劇壇裏面最多產嘅劇作家。咁佢唔單止係重量嘅，其實佢好多作品，譬如《帝女花紫釵記》啊，《再世紅梅記》、《蝶影紅梨記》都係咧成為香港粵劇，甚至喺國內都有戲班係演嘅呢啲戲。咁成為咧即係粵劇不朽嘅作品啦。咁我好榮幸亦都多謝 Anna Alice 咁佢組織咗呢一個展覽。好多謝 Fion 咧，即係好generous， 即係好同我哋合作咁樣借出好多展品。咁我希望呢個展出成功。多謝各位。
Thank you, Professor Chen. And may I now invite Dr. Anna Kwan, Director of HKUST Center for the Arts, to say a few words, please.
So, Professor Chen, Ms. Man Hua, and Lin Yan, who will be performing for us today, distinguished guests, Ms. Fion Lo from the Heritage Museum. I'm glad to have you all here with our colleagues and students to witness the opening of this exhibition, which Alice and I started to work 2 years ago. It was a part of this bigger project of Cantonese opera education enrichment project of 2019. And to give you some background of the whole project, it was started when my colleague, Professor Charles Chen, was here, who talked to me 2 years ago, and he told me that Professor Chen returned to Hong Kong and to see what we can work together. So we started to present a book talk. At that time, Professor Chen has just finished his work, The Legend of Tik-sang's creative career, which gave us this, the title of this exhibition also. And it was a book talk much welcomed by the audience. And then Alice and I sat down with Professor Chen to further develop this talk into a more ambitious project, and this is the background of the birth of this, the whole Cantonese opera education enrichment project. And then we felt the need to celebrate the achievement of Tik-sang with this exhibition and also performance, and also the education courses, credit-bearing courses. So we started to work on that, and that is how we were introduced to the Heritage Museum to begin to look into the collection. And at the very beginning, it was a very big collection of over 20,000 pieces of items, and we narrowed down to select the 50-something pieces for this exhibition today. So yeah, we are very grateful for the generous loan from the Heritage Museum. And from the selection, we have a direction that Tik-sang's work are presented in many of the exhibitions. And here, our intention is from the collection to highlight the uniqueness of Tong's background, and also the visual and material culture of Cantonese opera in Hong Kong during Tong's lifetime. So we show the wide spectrum of cultural references from which Tong drew his inspiration, and also how he benefited from the vigorous cultural atmosphere and performing arts atmosphere at that time. So yeah, I hope you will get that point from all these exhibits. I have also to thank the generous support from the Division of Humanities to provide the resources for offering the 2 credit-bearing courses. It is also a new attempt to have a lecture-based appreciation and history course paired with a workshop-based course. So students who are interested to know can also perform in the final performance, as Professor Chan mentioned. And as a university, we feel the need to present the value of this very important world intangible heritage item listed in 2009. And with the recent opening of Sichu Center in West Kowloon, is our effort to present this very special performing arts form, and to encourage the younger generation to further develop it in the 21st century. So maybe the next Tik-sang is among us in our student group. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much again for being here today.
Thank you, Dr. Kwon. It is now time for the ribbon cutting. I would like to invite our officiating guest to come forward, Professor Wei Shi, Ms. Fion Lo, Professor Chen Sao-Yan, Professor Christian Daniels, Professor Liu Ti-San, Dr. Anna Kwon, Ms. Diana Chan, Mr. Thomas Ng,
first, thanks. 1, 2, hold it, please. One more, please. 1, 2, one more. Okay.
Now please get ready for the ribbon cutting. 3, 2, 1, cut! Thank you all. And Professor Shi, Ms. Lo, and Professor Chen, please stay for the souvenir presentation. We are extremely grateful to the Hong Kong Heritage Museum for lending us the exhibits and to Professor Chen for his enormous support to the exhibition. To express our gratitude, Professor Shi is presenting souvenirs to Ms. Lo and Professor Chen. The souvenirs are publications from a library. This map set contains prints which are maps reproduced from antique maps of a library's special collections. Thank you all, and please stay again. It is now time for some group photos. May I now invite the following guests to come forward to take a group photo with our officiating guests. Ms. Yun Si-yin. Ms. Yun has generously allowed us to use her research findings and Tik-sang's photos in this exhibition. Ms. Man Hua. Ms. Man is the instructor of a Cantonese opera workshop. She will give a singing performance after the ceremony. Ms. Ling Yin. Ms. Ling will give a singing performance with Ms. Man Hua after the ceremony. Ms. Carmen Wong, Curator History, Hong Kong Heritage Museum. Professor Christian Daniels, Head of Division of Humanities. Professor Liu Tik-sang, Associate Professor of Humanities. Dr. Anna Kwon, Director of Center for the Arts. Ms. Diana Chan, Director of Library Services. Mr. Thomas Ng, Director of Media Technology and Publishing Center. He and his colleagues have provided fantastic design and technical support to the exhibition.
Okay. One, two. Okay, 1, 2.
Thank you, and please stay for another group photo. May I invite our HKUST colleagues and other guests to come forward to take one more photo. Professor Kelly Chai, Dean of Humanities and Social Science. Professor Charles Chan. Professor John Si Wu. Professor David Chen Chan. Professor Flora Fu. Professor Agnes Koo. Mr. Tony Lam. Ms. Grace Ling. Ms. Kara Hong. Mr. Alan Jun. Mr. Andrew Leung. Ms. Vivian Ho, and Ms. Alice Ho.
1, 2. Please hold it. Okay, 1, 2. 1, 2.
Thank you all.